GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Right, looks like you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go, at least to believe I am. Japers,
Yeah.
I tell you something. You know what I love about doing this show sometimes, is that every so often you get to do something special in radio. You get to talk to people and they get to feel like they know you. You get to feel like you've made friends and all. And every so often you get gifts. Yesterday, Bewley's gave us loads of gifts. They gave us gorgeous, all different, flavours of coffee and teas
biscuits.
and biscuits and all that. And then today we got a packet of chocolates that tastes like the arse end of a porcupine's hole. And you don't want to be rude.
How ungrateful.
I'm not going to even say where they came from or what the flavour was, but you know who you are. You know who you are. You didn't want them. You didn't want them, so you sent them to us.
Gratitude.
International flavour of failure is what they were. And that's the problem. Now that's all I focus on. So I have to constantly make it's like life such is life. You have to make a conscious effort to remind yourself of the good, or else you'll focus entirely on the very small part.
Speaking of that, so obviously what you're referring to there is obviously your time in radio, your decade or so, whatever it is that you've been in radio, and naturally, people send things in because they want to promote them partially. They're hoping maybe.
Well, the companies say.
Company stuff,
do,
or maybe, whatever, and they'll send it in, and part of it is like, there, have that for free, in the hope that you'll kind of take a picture, maybe stick it on
socials
for your,
and all that.
What have your 7 million followers or
7 million? Are you joking? Like 50,000 is like all I have.
It's loads.
It is not.
And
on Twitter, I don't even use anymore. That's where the followers were. Trust me to get into the wrong one.
What? So before that, when you were just, a big famous celebrity, wealthy kind of television personality and comedian and stuff like that.
How do we do shows together? We don't even like each other when you guys are like this. Yeah.
Did you get freebies then?
No, not really. No, never actually. No. Oh, it's the radio. There's something special about the radio.
Right.
It feels like a two-way street. People listen to you at the same time every day. You're in someone's life in a way. With radio, you're not. In when you do stand-up.
To be fair, a bit hard in stand-up to kind of that would be quite the product placement, to be in the middle of a gag and to make sure that you're brought into the gag. So I was sitting in this cafe. It was actually Tony's Cafe. They have a special now currently on. It'd be weird to have to incorporate that into a gag.
Wouldn't it? Yeah.
Product placement.
Yeah. So I was driving down the road in my 25D Opel Corsa with all the trimmings there.
Yeah.
Everything included if you purchase now for $300 a month.
I went for the 1.8 GLX model.
Yeah. So, anyway, as I said, I was driving luxury leather interior, which is free if you go to Alfie Barracks on the Long Mile Road.
I was particularly comfortable because of the fantastic air conditioning unit that they have fitted in it. Really makes you feel like you're in a summer meadow.
People are going, this is shit. This is shit. And that's the thing, so you don't get free stuff on the same level. But one thing you do get, and like that, but then you get the stuff from people who aren't companies, people who just want to do something nice for you. The unfortunate part of that is sometimes that's the stuff you want the least. Sometimes the stuff with the most heart is the stuff you'd rather run away. You know when people make us a cake with their hands? You know why that happens every so often?
You like your cakes to be made with a machine, do you?
Get one down the shop, for fuck's sake. Get one down.
Wow.
Get a Kevin the Caterpillar.
I thought handmade was a sign of quality.
Yeah, around the famine. It was. Maybe in the 80s or whatever. But now...
Handmade by a qualified person.
Yeah, not some fucking mad fella walking around his kitchen with blue tack falling out of his hair and whatever else.
Who hadn't got the proper measuring jug, so he used an old tin of beans that he hadn't rinsed.
He used an unrinsed medication container. That he puts his stuff in. Yeah. So that's the thing. And you go, thanks so much, and you really do appreciate it, obviously. And then they're going, I hope you like that now, and you're thinking to yourself, I'm not gonna ever touch that. And then, but you say, I will. I'm gonna love it. I'm at a gym. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna show Jim. I have to give her all to Jim. That's my way of saying I'm not having any. As if, and they go, and you do appreciate the gesture, but it's going straight in the bin.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not straight in the bin. It'll sit there for 4 days.
No, that's not true.
Bin.
No, he's lying there. It goes straight in the bin. I've seen him do it. Literally, I've seen people handle something, and he's done, no way, and turned around and literally put it into a skip.
Okay, that's also true. But you try to not make it as rude. Because you don't want to be rude. You want to be nice to people.
Yeah,
you want to be nice to people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, isn't it so much nicer when McDonald's give you something? You know, when they give you there's a free breakfast, and you're like, thank you, McDonald's.
Yeah. Now,
And,
again, just so that there's no, confusion, we've no problem with a normal individual buying from McDonald's and bringing it to us.
That's the best. That's the ultimate. That's the sweet spot, isn't it? When somebody really nice and genuine, who wants to just do something nice for you, combines their pocket with something that's really you've genuinely shown an interest in already.
Yeah.
It's 2025. Fuck off with the surprises. Nobody wants surprises anymore.
Right.
We are for birthdays, for weddings, for holidays, for anything events, for just general being nice to you things. Nobody wants surprises anymore. Those days are gone.
Right.
Just get something. What do you like? Can you tell me 3 things you like? I'll get one of them. That's the way to do it, isn't it?
That's the surprise. One of the 3.
One of the 3, yeah.
Right.
Or maybe I'll get you 2 of the 3.
We should do
maybe
that.
if you're looking.
that 5-3-1 game.
That's it. Yeah.
So that way, then if you're the one on the receiving end of the gift, you choose 5 things.
Yes.
I think about them and think, well, 2 of them certainly I won't be able to afford. That's for sure, and one of them is very ropey. So I give you 3 back, and then you go, right. Well, of those 3, I'd like that one.
That one, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant. Or else the giver says, here's 5 things I'd like to get you. Pick 3. No, that doesn't work either. None of it works. Just get someone at McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's terrible because, and especially Jim. Oh, geez, poor little Jim. When people give us things and he just hates it, and and he'd be feeling like he has to eat it in front of them and everything. Because he feels so bad.
Come on, I do hate making people feel bad about themselves.
Yeah.
But I tell you the one thing that would have been different is that when you were doing, telly and stand-up and everything like that, because you would have been more... Well, would you have been more recognisable? I suppose to a certain extent in the height of naked camera and all that.
So.
And you'd have gotten all of that treatment. It mightn't have been, gifts, but it would have been, of course we have a table for you. Of course we'll let you in here. Of course you can have the suite for no money.
Never had that. I genuinely never had that. No, never had that. But I did have you would turn up at jobs. And people would be running around for you a bit.
Yeah.
Staff.
That's what you're talking about. Staff.
Well, no,
staff, hadn't you,
Peter? People go, would you, and you always felt bad because I would, you turn up and someone would go, you're doing an interview on the telly or something, you know. And I say, how's it going? And someone would go, do you want a cup of tea? And says, yeah, I'll have a cup of tea. And I say, get PJ a cup of tea. And you're like, no. If I had thought that was the way it was going to go, I wouldn't have been into that. Yeah. I'll make my own one, but then you've got some poor little fellas running around getting given out to or whatever,
Yeah. I've never had that. Obviously, I've never. It's very, very rare that I am in those kind of positions where I'm the one being interviewed.
But that's because you say no to everything as well. We go into a place and someone goes, "Do you want something to eat?" And Jim goes, "No, we're all right." And I say, "Yes," and then I have something to eat.
Yeah. No, anytime I've ever been, anywhere, and somebody said, "Fancy tea?" Actually, I wouldn't mind a cup of tea. That's very kind of you. Just there's a little cafeteria area there, just down on the left.
Will you get me one as well when they're on it? And they do these sticky buns.
I tell you, it's closer to that for me. Yeah. Good, because I was just in the mood for a coffee myself. If you wouldn't mind, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then we'll chat about what your questions are.
Will you grab one for PJ when you're going down? Imagine that never happened. Thank God that never happened.
Wow.
But that's because it's weird, the whole thing is weird, and especially when you're not actually a celebrity or you're not a real celebrity, you're just a.
Don't be modest.
No, it's true though.
Oh my God, go away out with that shit for God's sake, aren't you? The biggest celebrity in. I mean, you did Celebrity Banish Store.
On my bike now and cycle to Newry, nobody knows.
Well, obviously, because they don't expect a celebrity of your standing to be cycling his own bike. They expect you to be sitting in the back of it.
Isn't that amazing?
With a number of people.
That's not your man. PJ off the Naked Show. There's Jim's phone ringing. Is that your washing machine calling you again?
No.
He's been getting text messages off his washing machine all morning, which I think is the funniest thing.
Washing machine. Sorry.
He's actually taking the call.
In the middle of the podcast.
Brilliant. Look, who's on the phone?
Okay, no panic.
Yeah, here we go now.
All right, talk to you then. Okay.
Talk to you then.
Bye-bye.
See you now. Good luck. Thanks for calling in the middle of a podcast. Who's that?
That was a phone.
The toaster. No way.
The toaster.
Yeah. Well, you're so hooked up to all these devices. All your devices are able to text him. His washing machine texted him twice this morning.
I got 2 messages from my washing machine. That's all.
That's amazing. That's amazing, you know. I'm supposed to be getting a new alarm system on the house. And your man goes, do you want a nap? I was there, no. And he goes, well, what? He goes,
how are you going to know then when, if you're in here and it's going off?
I'm not supposed to fucking know. The burglar's supposed to fucking know. This is the exact conversation I had with Kelly yesterday. She's like, so the alarm goes off and who hears it? I was there, they're a burglar. And she goes, how do we know it goes off? It doesn't matter, we won't be there. It doesn't, what difference does that make?
What happens if it's not a burglar and it's something innocent like a bird does a kamikaze flight straight into your window or something?
I still can't do anything about it, I'm not fucking there.
No, but you're annoying the neighbours. You're supposed to go and turn it off. You had the app, you'd be able to turn it off from the app.
Oh, you can turn it off from the phone?
Yeah.
No one explained that to me. I thought no one explained that to me now.
Yeah. That's
not. And also, anyway, wait a minute. But you turn it off with the phone.
Well, you can do, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
That moment of silence was... you really needed to see his face for that bit. Yeah, you can do all sorts. Technology, PJ, it's incredible. You wouldn't believe it.
That's amazing. I'll be in a
they
WhatsApp.
They literally have the internet on computer now and everything.
I'll be in the WhatsApp group with the local burglars. When I can't even get my microphone to go.
Oh.
And the local burglars will be there. I'm going to do your gaff. I'll be there. Okay, I'll just turn off the phone now. I'll turn off the alarm with my phone, so you're not disturbed.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's it.
Explain that.
So you'd be happy enough then for the alarm to be just going off constantly.
But I thought that's what they did, isn't it? That's what happens. They go off, and you can't. There's not much you can do about it. Like that's the whole idea of why you don't set them off.
Yeah. Well,
you're supposed to set them
I know
off.
You didn't want the monitoring ones necessarily, but there is a theory that if your alarm went off, that maybe it would call the guards or something, or somebody who might be in a position to, I don't know, save your house being robbed or something.
Who's in the position to save me house? Imagine.
Well, as I say, I don't know. People like guards, security guards.
So you put down Jim's name. And Jim's like, I'm at home.
Why would you put down my name?
You're the only person I know that's free at the same time I am.
Who should we call in the... call Jim. Okay. Is Jim in the security services? No. He lives up around. He lives up a mountain. Right. So, do you think he'd be the fastest person to get there? I don't care really. I don't care. I just want to inconvenience him.
No,
really. That's really what I want to do. More than that else. Just want him. If I'm being annoyed by an alarm, I want him to be annoyed as well.
Surely that's not what it is. Surely it's not just called contacts so they can check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Because the guards can't go to every alarm.
Normally they ring you, say somebody would ring you.
Right.
And say, come here, was that an accident or anything? Did you set the alarm
off?
off?
App, I'm not even in the house. I had to set the fucking thing off when I was at home.
They move on. Do you know what I mean?
So then they move on to you.
Well, they don't move. Don't tell them me. Whatever you do. Tell them somebody close by. Your sister or I don't know.
She's work. You're doing it. You're the same time free. You're free loads.
Well, if I'm free, you're free. So why don't they just call you?
Oh, why don't I? This is too complicated. I'm not getting a fucking alarm. I'm done with this. I'm just getting a burglar. I'm just going to get a regular burglar and get it over with once a year. It'll be easier.
That's what. Why don't people hire people like that? They should hire people.
It'd be great if you could do that with criminals.
Hire a burglar.
Fit it in.
A burglar breaks in and there's a lad there going, "Sorry, mate, I was already here." Feck off.
He didn't put that in the WhatsApp group, they'd say. I think, of course, he didn't. He doesn't know how to use the alarm from his phone. He doesn't know how to use WhatsApp either, yeah.
Wow.
Like, right, sorry, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it'd be great if you could.
What you should do is you should get, if you do set it up, they say to you, so if we can't contact you, who should we contact? The washing machine. Contact the washing machine.
Could you text Jim's washing machine? Because he'll answer the text message from his washing machine. He won't answer it from me. I've seen him answer the ones from his washing machine. He looks at it every time he goes. He looks at it. He did today. He goes, washing machine's just started. She must have done a load. I said, Grant, I text you on the Saturday. I don't hear from you until fucking Tuesday. So the washing machine. So text Jim's washing machine.
That's the secret.
And let him know. Yeah. Imagine. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah.
And if the washing machine's not there, text the
try
fridge.
His Hoover.
If
he's never ignored his Hoover.
If he's already robbed the washing machine, try the fridge. Try the fridge, and he'll probably tell you what was going on.
Yeah. If he thinks his cheese is about to go off, he'll definitely answer the phone.
Man, I'll tell you something though. You do get sucked into that rubbish. I tell you.
I can't. I hate it.
You know when I was out buying that washing machine or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was looking around the place or whatever. And that's grand. Whatever. Just there's all sorts of white appliances or whatever those things are called, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you want to see the stuff. Now, it will be ridiculous stuff.
Like
I mean,
what?
like you and I
a
would.
drinks dispenser.
But I'm talking
Ice.
about, those fridge things, right? You know the way that you get things like the big American fridges or whatever,
Oh,
right? That's grand.
yeah, yeah.
And that's fine. And lots of people like them and they are, spacious and they're everything. But there's yokes where there's screens, right? And I don't mean screens as in, will tell you what's inside the fridge or what you might need to buy. Remember we did things like that,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever. No, these are like so you could watch Netflix on the door of a fridge.
Ah, no.
I swear to God. I was out in Harvey Norman and I saw it, and it's literally, you could watch programmes on the door of your fridge.
And is there a remote control and all for the fridge then?
I assume so. I mean, I assume they would argue the theory of it is that, you know what I mean, if you're, I don't know, whatever, if that's where you eat your meals or something, if you know what I mean, your kitchen diner or what, I don't know. But if you have a kitchen diner, can you afford a fridge that's about $6,000?
Why can't it just do what it's supposed to do anymore?
Yeah.
Now you'd be there going, I was listening to the radio on the oven there yesterday. And
Yeah.
and I heard this
You have to be
great...
careful because you know what I mean. You have to hire it up because you don't want to be putting your head in the oven. That's a terrible thing.
I'm after downloading the podcast. I don't know where it is. Have you tried the fridge? It's probably in the fridge. Yeah, isn't that mad?
It is.
Isn't that absolutely mad?
And you do have to wonder where technology's meant to sort of, make things better, make life easier, blah, blah, blah. All that
It
kind of
doesn't,
stuff.
though.
But
It
at what
never
point
did.
does it just become, what's that expression, kind of gratuitous?
It's
Like you're
pressure.
just doing it for the sake of
It's
doing
just
it.
pressure then. You
Yeah.
feel like you have to have it. It's
Yeah.
just pressure. And then technology has never made anything better.
Yeah. Come here. I'll be bringing you up. Come here, PJ. What channel's the match on? It's on Sky or whatever. Yeah, but what channel on the fridge?
Next to the cheese. It is in my fridge. United Liverpool, just next to the cheese. Do you see
Under
it?
the yogurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you looking under the yogurt?
What one of you? What yogurt's
I
in your
don't have
fridge?
any yogurt.
Oh, then I don't know.
How are you supposed to find it then?
Yeah, get a dodgy fridge. You don't have to subscribe then. If you have a dodgy fridge, you don't need all this shit. I know a lad selling dodgy fridges. Imagine.
That'll be the next thing.
That'll be the next thing. You can get a dodgy fridge, yeah.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
No subscription and all. Oh, it's
No,
brilliant.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Now, it gets installed by the burglar, though. That's the problem. Fuck's sake.
Glory Days. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Time is supposed to be the thing that we're most poor in.
Isn't it?
I mean, you think you got no money. Well, apparently being time poor is a big thing. And also, particularly, not just in terms of things you have to do, you're particularly time poor, we're told, about the time that's just for you. You know, the me time stuff.
Your own alone time, your me time. We've never had less of it in our lives than we do it today. Yeah,
That's kind of feels strange because I thought the whole thing was that the modern generations are all very into the idea of kind of putting their own time in the thing,
Yeah, but
they're not sort of like work themselves to the bone types.
I know, but you see, you do hear that, and I hear that quite a lot. But then we also did a story last week about people who are encouraged to do your work emails while in the toilet. You have to double up on everything. And eat your lunch at your desk. And there was other mad ones. Brush your teeth in the shower so you have more time to get to work. Like, it was crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So what do people do with their me time? When they finally get a bit of time, today's sort of story is, what do they do with it?
Right.
And honestly, a lot of them are just very normal. It's like, try and watch TV with your other person, or try and...
That's classified as me time.
Yeah, walk a dog or look at a hill. Well, look at a hill isn't in it, but I'm sure there's people into that.
Hey, lots to be said for looking at a hill.
Isn't there? Lots to be said. Well,
Fine hill that.
looking at Jimmy's hill. There's Jim's up there somewhere.
Jimmy's hill.
Jimmy's hill. He's up there running around. And then, some people like to cook, and some people like to... it says...
Cook.
Yeah.
In your me time.
In your me time. Some people, people are passionate about it, Not like, a load of sausages on an air fryer type of thing, but some people are into it. And then there's people that want to eat fruit and veg. I can't imagine that being something you'd look forward to. Who is sitting in work going, I'm so busy, I can't even go home for some boiled sprouts? Who looks forward to a head of broccoli all day and an apple?
I mean,
honestly,
I'm sure, very good.
Great.
Healthy, great, fantastic. And maybe you do genuinely enjoy it. But as your me time, why not have it I don't know, for your dinner?
For your dinner.
Or your lunch or something.
Imagine sitting there.
Me time. Oh, yeah, can't wait. This Saturday, I've got an hour when there'll be nobody in the house. I want to sit down and have a good head of broccoli.
Yeah. If I said to you, there's an apple at home I can't wait to get stuck into, you be there, PJ.
Yeah. We need to have a conversation.
You know who you need to be calling after the show. And then there's people who want to spend time, who read. They want to, we're always saying this. We want to read again, the both of us, in fairness.
Yeah.
Want to get back into books. We're both audiobook people. And we'd love to get back into reading.
And it's great, you know. I use that on the commute. That's what I listen to all the time, whatever, an audiobook, you know, all the time. But the thing about it is, if it's the non-fiction type, right, you know, a book about whatever, you never retain anything.
No.
Well, I don't.
I don't either, no. I love an audiobook because I'm an adult and I want someone to read me a story.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen much. So that's why I love an audiobook. It's the only time I can get an adult to read me a story going to bed or whatever, or if I'm driving around. But yeah, the retention isn't the same.
No.
Like people say, did you read that book? I did, yes. And did you read that book? Yes. But I read them all with my ears. And I love reading with my ears.
Yeah.
But I don't retain.
I've read so many books, my ears are worn out.
They're worn out. My ears are absolutely hanging out of me from all the reading.
Yeah.
And then people say, oh, what was your favourite part of the... I haven't a clue. I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen when you
And
read
you know
properly.
the other thing as well about listening to them as opposed to actually sitting down and physically picking up the book and, you know, going page by page and reading through it is the kind of, you know, like you in the car. I mean, there's bound to be distractions. Like you are paying attention to the road.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff as well. So
Exactly.
no wonder you don't retain as much.
Yeah, you're not fully
And it's not,
engaged.
you know, there's something great about physically picking up the book as well. You know.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah, it's an experience. It's fully experiential, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
You know, you're choosing to go through the story, getting enthralled. I've never finished a book and then went, I don't know what happened in the middle there. That was just a complete.
Yeah.
I don't know who
do we get to this?
Who these people even are? You know the
Yeah.
book. Sometimes
Mind you, the only thing about it is, if you're going to read, well, if I was going to read anyway, I'd have to sort of do it during the day. Because, I mean, I know that you've had this experience where it's one of those, you read a book at night, going to bed, right, completely, fall asleep with it on your face.
Yeah.
And then completely forget everything you've read and end up reading the same thing the next night.
next day.
And the next night.
Yeah.
And the next
I've
night.
read that. Yeah. Have you ever read that book? No, but I've read page 39 400 times.
Glory Days. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
On the subject of WhatsApps and texts and things that we got in, this one didn't come to the show per se through the normal channels. It went direct to PJ's phone because it came from a friend of his. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it is one of the most spectacular communications, one of the most spectacular messages that has been received by this show. Would you like to proceed?
What's happening? What?
Are you going to claim you forgot? Literally somebody has... Okay, I'll explain. Somebody text PJ in the last few minutes.
Oh, no. Oh, we're not doing this story,
Yes, we are.
We're not doing this story, are we? I just told you something in confidence.
No, you didn't say it was in confidence.
Well, I didn't say it on the microphone.
Are we not allowed to do that story?
I honestly didn't. This wasn't a plan at all. I
literally said I'm going to have to tell people that.
Yeah, and I didn't agree. You just went and now you've done it.
Right.
I got new windows in the house. It turns out the frosting on the bathroom is not as strong as I first imagined. And a friend of mine, he passed the house yesterday and he said, I know what jacket you're wearing. I know you're holding your phone. I can see your glasses. Right. Buy a blind and check it from the outside. This is ludicrous. Because my frosting is not as protective as I had previously imagined when I purchased the glass.
And obviously this particular frosting, it's in your bathroom.
It's in the bathroom.
It's not like it's in your kitchen or anything like that.
No, it's in the bathroom. But the bathroom was obviously downstairs and faces the road. And I may have done something for about 20 minutes in front of the neighbours, completely unwittingly. That I thought was a private conversation between me and Jim McCabe. And this is not private.
Wait a second, how could it be a private conversation when your friend texts you to say he was on the street?
It was between me and the street.
At that time?
At that time.
Look,
and I didn't know
suffice to say, no laws were broken.
But it was borderline.
But I have to say, very entertaining.
It was borderline law breaking, but unintentional.
Unintentional, yeah. You can't be done for that.
I thought I was in the privacy of a...
You were in the privacy of your own home. I mean, you know, I suppose we could have turned it around and tried and made out that your friend was peeping Tom. That's not really the case.
Well, when he was able to tell me what...
While driving his van.
When he was able to tell me exactly what jacket I was wearing, because he could read the writing on it.
Yeah. So anyway, look, the important thing is that no laws were broken and no children or animals were harmed. Everything was okay.
And a new lesson in life, never trust frosted glass.
I mean,
it's up there with Donkey's yellow snow.
Frosted glass is, it is the standard, isn't it, for, in that bathroom environment.
I would have thought so.
So, you obviously had a very mild frost. It wasn't a particularly bad winter when your frosted glass was done.
Mine is like an April ground frost when I was hoping for a January pick.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yours is more like morning dew, really, than
morning dew. Yeah, that's exactly what I got. I got morning dew frost. Wow. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that's
so.
When you're wearing your glasses, he says.
Suffice to say, you're on the hunt for a blind then from here on in.
I suppose I do need.
You can buy the cans of frosting.
What?
I don't mean cake frosting now. I mean, you can buy those cans, like Rustins or whatever do those cans.
You do pictures of Santa and all with them.
But you can tape it, you could spray it on your window, tape up and, you get a good effect on it.
Imagine that. He hasn't taken down his Christmas decorations. No, he has. He just has terrible natural frosting.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With InsureMyVan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at InsureMyVan.ie.
Listen, you know the way they often say there's certain professions, right, where you just hear all sorts. I mean, barmen used to be a thing, or bar people, bar persons, used to be taxi drivers.
That was another one. That was one, obviously.
Where you'd constantly just because you'd come in contact with so many different types of people from so many different areas. You'd hear different things. You'd hear really unusual stuff, and definitely one of the areas that falls into that category is agony ants.
Agony ants. Now, I didn't even think they were a thing anymore. In fact, I know they're not a thing anymore. The dawning of social media, you can go onto a forum and you can ask any question you like and get relatable answers from people who have been in your situation, right?
Well, relatable answers, not necessarily very wise advice now.
No, but people in your situation. There's no, you can always find another weirdo just like you on the internet. But pre-internet days, agony ants were the things in the newspapers, right? And somebody now says, remember agony ants? And they went back to read some of the old agony ant columns and went, hold on a minute, I had no idea how weird this actually was.
Yeah.
And they've dug out some of what their favourites in their recent find are, right?
Yeah, because in fairness, some of the big ones, they kind of were always relationship stuff, weren't they? They were always about kind of like, he's lost interest in me, or there's whatever, right? There was all of that going on.
And the rest, check it.
But I certainly never heard some of these.
My boyfriend is a big chatterbox, says this woman, and I've never met somebody who talks so much. On the rare occasion I get to put a word in edgeways, he stares at me vacantly and doesn't listen to a word I say. However, he has a third nipple in the middle of his rib cage. And when he's asleep, he sleeps with his top off. It looks like his normal nipples are two eyes, and the third nipple is a nose. It also makes his belly button look like it's a little bit of a mouth. I talk to that face a lot. I call that face on his torso Christopher. Sometimes I spend hours talking to Christopher. Sometimes I kiss Christopher. It's a one-sided conversation, yes, but I get great relief from it.
She talks to his stomach.
Yeah.
Or his torso, I suppose. She talks to his torso.
Yeah.
Because he won't listen to her.
Yeah. Last week he wore a T-shirt in bed and she felt lonely. She was like, where's Christopher? Is this weird?
Yes!
My God. And the agony aunt says, I'd love to say this happens all the time, but it absolutely doesn't. You're a troubled woman, she says. Not great advice either.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Not great advice either. And then you think, well, that's surely the weirdest one. And then another one. I'm a 35-year-old man and my wife has this really strange habit where she pees in the kettle before we serve tea to the guests. She says she gets a laugh out of it. Now, I was shocked at first, I really was, but I have to say I tried it and it is a bit of fun. So my question for you...
Sorry, tried what? Tried the...
peeing in the kettle.
Yeah. As opposed to drinking the...
No,
right.
Okay. Now, I know it's rude, but is it safe, is the question. What on earth kind of people You know,
They are not your archetypal agony and questions, I'd have to say.
I've fallen for a girl, but she's a cartoon character. Is that really weird and is it bad? It is. It's not human, for a start.
It's not grey.
It's like the bunny from the Caramel lads. We all had a thing for it, but none of us fell in love.
It is a strange one.
I'm a 26-year-old man and I have a hairy chest. Now I'm getting pretty upset. Every time I go out, women are staring at my chest. And I enjoy that I have a hairy chest. I enjoy that it may be attractive to some, but sometimes it's like I don't exist at all.
He just feels like a piece of meat.
Yeah, what should I do?
A hairy piece of meat.
Should I cut the hair on my chest? Or should I cover it up? Put on a jumper, you absolute lunatic.
Glory Days. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
So one of the things that PJ and myself have been very open about, in all of the years that we've been doing the show, is that we don't classify ourselves as particularly talented in, some would say any area whatsoever, but particularly in the world of kind of DIY and Mr. Fix-It.
Oh,
or
yeah,
any
yeah.
of that sort. Now, I will point out that I did fit my washing machine and tumble dryer yesterday.
Oh.
If you want to give me a round of applause or anything.
I was 100%.
Thank you very much
He's done a
indeed.
great job today. In fact, he's done such a great job. We were here this morning, I was texting a friend of mine, and then Jim got a text as well from his washing machine to tell him that the load was finished.
No, it was only starting.
I was only starting.
Yeah, Yvonne had obviously put it on. So it sent me a text to say, come here, she's at the putting the wash on here. It's great though, it does. It sends you texts and everything. It's pretty. Anyway, listen. So, but the thing is, right, and we always say about it that the worst thing is, one of the most emasculating experiences that you can ever have is when something needs doing, right, and you have to resort to calling the man.
Isn't that it? You call a real man.
Yeah.
You know, that's broken, right, we'll get a man in.
Yeah.
And then the real man comes and he fixes everything. And he just goes, right, that'll be, let's call it 567 quid and a handful of change. And you have to give the real man the money, you know.
Yeah.
And then, it gets even worse when you're out in social occasions sometimes. You know, you might be intimidated, whatever. But a Malaysian man, this guy's great. He's started to offer his services. He was out with his friends one day. He got this great idea because one of his friends says, you look like a gangster. You look like a bit of a thug. And he said, brilliant. There has to be a way to capitalise on this.
Thank you for that. So now I'm all ears now because, in fairness, like you've said this to me many a time. You know,
oh, yeah, Jimmy,
you're always abusing me. Even though I am the most gentle character.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Unless you're on the terraces. But this guy was told he looked like a bit of a thug, and he got an idea then, and he was going to start a business where he's a villain for hire, right?
Right.
So here's how it works. A man is going out with someone, and maybe he's feeling a little bit emasculated by the world around him, who knows? And he predetermines a date and a time with this guy, and he gets up and goes to the toilet. And when he gets up and goes to the toilet, this other guy starts to, abuse people in the area, whatever.
Right.
Hey, you, hey.
The hired guy.
The hired guy.
Right.
Hey, Four Eyes, get me another drink, whatever. Starts abusing barman, and then maybe says something to his girlfriend, and and then he comes out of the toilet and he goes, "Are you harassing these people?" And he wrestles them down. You get out of here, or you'll get a piece of my hand, whatever. And then he goes, "Whoa, back off! I didn't realise I was dealing with a serious cat."
Yeah,
and that happens.
Steady on, man. The testosterone coming off you.
Well, I didn't realise
overpowering.
we had a gangster in the house, right? So this happens, and he backs off. And then your man sits down and goes, "He's lucky. I was just about to take out my elbow and give it to him in the nose." And all this, and this is his job now. This is what he's doing.
That is brilliant.
What makes me laugh most about the story is he says he's been hired by some people multiple times. Like, you surely after 3 or 4 times your missus will go, "That's the same fella."
Yeah, I think he's stalking us.
No, that's different lad, different accents and all, different hat. Different hat.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That is brilliant. That's what a way to make yourself look like you're.
Now it's all expenses paid. So
I know you kind of. Hey, you knew I was wild when you got with me, babe.
Yeah. Now you know. I mean business. I don't suffer fools gladly.
Come here. Do you know what the natural extension of that then is? Because I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm a devout coward. But I think
devout coward.
That's a great idea. And what they should do is they should extend that to the man for the likes of you and I. You know what I mean? That if it's one of those things that needs doing in the house, right?
Yeah.
What you should get is there should be a plumber or an electrician or whatever it is out there, right? That has a service that when they come to your house, right, to fix the thing that needs to be fixed, that they say to you on the QT, "Listen, it's actually to do with the switch behind the motor."
This is a brilliant idea.
And then they tinker with it for a while, right?
Brilliant.
And
idea.
you walk in when your other half is there, and you go, have you checked the switch behind the motor there, just on it's connected to the
Dingle Whisper? Have you checked the Dingle Whisper?
And they go, God, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and then he has a fix, give me the spanner there for a second. I just want to do it. Right.
Absolutely.
And then you hand it back to him.
He says to you, sorry, would you be able to tighten that for us?
Just I can't reach.
No problem, give it to
No
us.
problem, here. Hold my latte. And then you get down and you do it, and then you go, get out of here. And he goes, whoa, man.
I'd happily pay
an extra
premium,
few quid.
A premium for that.
Yeah. And then he walks up and goes, jeez, I'll tell you something, you hire some real little not knowing what they're doing fellas around this house.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.